All right, you ready, Melindra? Good evening. This meeting is now called to order. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Here. Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Here.
Trustee Fulcher.
Here.
Trustee Thompson.
Present.
Trustee Brooks. Mayor Rudez.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. The Park District Commissioner, roll call, please. 708.
All right. Bill Erkman. This is not the, Dorothea Franklin.
Dorothy Franklin, present. Roll
Council
call.
the joint meeting. Where does it say?
Roll call. Roll call. Dorothy? Here. Go ahead. Go ahead, Brandon.
Trustee Brooks, slow down. The attorney told me to have him do that. I took the,
Roosevelt. Roosevelt. He's on his way.
Roosevelt.
all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna roll with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a reschedule.
This is how we, this is,
Did not include a, so-called park district.
listen, bro. I just went to the advice of the attorney. That's what he told me to do. That's what he just told me when I sat down. It's okay.
Can this be amended? Can it be amended?
What? I knew they were coming to the meeting, yeah.
So so this don't become no sideshow. I call a point of order because the agenda says committee of the whole, so I called the point of order. The attorney says that their meeting is the same time as ours and is posted here in this facility. It was not told to the Board of Trustees. It was not told the chair, which is the mayor or president, whatever you want to call them. And part of the reason that we having this discussion is one of those things of them using our facilities. Now, they didn't even ask. I don't know. Should I ask the village manager? Did they come to you and ask you? Was this room signed up for tonight?
I don't recall if it was signed up for.
So therefore, since when the Open Meetings Act, where we get to the point that we just make our agenda and then someone comes along, you can't do that.
So, Trustee Brooks, I sat down 2 minutes ago. Attorney, counsel told me to have the Park District call their roll order as well.
So
they've
just
done
like you
that.
said 2 minutes ago. So again, I'm calling a point of order. It cannot be done.
All right, we're going to go on with our meeting. We're not going to have you hollering out, young lady. You're going to speak in proper order and it's moving forward. So, are there any questions regarding items on the agenda? Yep.
It has the public comments on here
Yeah, I know it does.
for the agenda item.
I know it does. I'm looking for the list. And there's no sign-in list? No one signed in for public comments? playing with these people no more. We good. Vivian Covington is the only public comment that I have on the list. That's the only one I will acknowledge. Then we'll move forward. Thank you. Okay, we'll deal with it. Okay, that's fine. But we're not gonna have a crap show. We're gonna have this meeting, and we're gonna be in order.
On behalf, good evening. I don't even know what the heck's going on here, but on behalf of CCC, Mr. Joe Lovelace, I speak on this intergovernment agreement between the Village and University Park District Transfer and former Park and Rec facilities. When was this done? I mean, where was this that it was established legally?
At the November 2025 election, presidential election, that's when it was established by the voters of the Village of University Park, who decided that they wanted to vote for a park district.
That was on a referendum, I understand that. I didn't vote for it. My question is, did the board, this board, according to state statutes, regulations, did they select the board that was chosen?
That is not the way the referendum read. No, that's the answer.
But the referendum was illegal anyway, too. So I'm trying to understand, if we're going to do this, where are we involved? The taxpayers, which will cost us a lot of money to have this park district. Park, Forest, Matson has over 20-some parks. They do not have a park district because they cannot afford another taxing body. We cannot afford to tax the people out of their homes. This is ridiculous, this is unethical, and it's not transparent whatsoever. Everything is not transparent in this village anymore. People don't know what's going on. And this right here is really illegal. It is illegal, it's wrong, we do not want it, we cannot afford it. That's it, that's all. Attorney on DeAndre.
Yeah.
DeAndre.
Go ahead, you had a question for the council?
Yes, I
because
do.
You're running close on your time.
Yes, I do. I would like to know, are you in total, you weren't here really when that was done, so DeAndre, I won't even do that to you. But I'm just not happy about it. I think it's illegal, and we're going to stand up against this because it cannot be. And you want to have you want us to give you the facilities. Who does that? Do you think I'm going to let you live in my house and then charge me? No. And using our facilities, just like the library board coming here having a meeting with no charge. This is wrong. In every sense of the way, it is wrong. And it needs to be stopped. And it needs to be taken into consideration of the people of the Village of University Park. I pay taxes here and have always paid taxes here. I will always stay involved here. And I'm not going to stand for this. If I petition, and I go to Washington a lot, and I'll be out of state this Thursday on some of these behalfs. This has got to stop. People need to get up out of their beds and wake up and see what's going on here. And our elected officials are being totally disrespected. And this village manager, you are the most disrespectful person in the world.
Manager, Mrs. Covington, your time has expired.
Last I checked, you block like that, you'd be fired. A real boss wouldn't have it. You don't stomp and yell at these people. They're your bosses.
Mrs. Covington, your time has expired. And just for the record, I just want to make a couple of comments regarding the Park District and the Park and Recreation. Ms. Covington, you misled every single resident in this community when the Park District first had the referendum and telling everyone that it would cost them an additional $810, please, we're not gonna have the disrespect in the audience, so you'll be out of here. Okay, so anyway, as I was stating, you misled the residents in the community and told them that the Park District was gonna cost each additional taxpayer over $800 additionally a year, which was really, really false. So, Ms. Covington, I wish you would be respectful and sit still in the audience and let me speak as I decided to let you speak. Okay. If it don't apply, let it fly. So anyway, as I was saying, The Park District was created by the taxpayers on a referendum in the presidential election, opposing what you told everybody and misleading folks to think that everyone is a resident here in University Park, pays tax. I'm not going to have you speaking out in my meeting either. So to make a long story short, you misinformed the residents because I'm a resident with multiple properties in this house, in this town, and I'm definitely not going to raise my taxes on each house additional $800 per home. It costs the home between $9 and $12 additional a month. If it wasn't for the park and recreation that you shut down in 2016, the properties would not be dilapidated. We would have the Regal Farm up and going. We would have Pine Lake up and going. We would have the tot lots up and going. We would have the programs going on. So now when the taxpayers have the opportunity to go to the polls and vote, they voted, and the taxpayers have spoken. So anybody who wants to say that the taxpayers didn't have the right, the taxpayers voted for it. So that's where we are. The referendum gave the mayor the opportunity to appoint the board, and that's where the problem is that you guys are having. We've done everything in full compliance with the state, legally, the county, and everything. So the things that you're saying is just erroneous and misleading the people. So there's a lack. So anybody who doesn't want to see these children and singers in this community have active, affordable programs, shame on you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here, because we wouldn't have any of these recreational problems right now. But we do have them, and we're going to address them. So, Mrs. Morgan, you got your 3 minutes.
Okay. What you're doing here and what you already have tried is done is illegitimate. You cannot, you are just a part-time, temporary mayor. You cannot take people and appoint nobody. This is a taxing body. And just like the other day when we had the taxing body meeting with Dr. Cogley being here, Trustee Jewell.
That's not on the agenda. Stick to the item on the agenda.
I'm sticking to it. You had your wife sitting up here as the part of the Park District. She's not. She hasn't been voted on. You have to get people, the board, the people here in University Park to vote. You cannot do nothing except run your mouth. That's it. But you cannot. And if you all let him do this to us, you will not be forgotten. You will not be forgotten, because this is totally illegitimate. You've been having private meetings. The residents here don't know nothing about these meetings. So you're sneaking and hiding and doing things behind our back like you always have been. That is not going to fly here. You can't just come in here and dictate like you Trump. You can't do it. You his brother by another mother, but you can't do it. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Thank you very much for your kind comments. So the reason for this thing is the Park District did pass. They've had legal meetings. The meetings were posted. They have a board of commissioners that voted in the different positions in that capacity. So regardless, I'm not going to have dialogue with you back and forth. You had your time. Now it's my time. And you're going to understand that, all right? Moving forward. So that's the way it is. This whole meeting is about discussing having the properties transferred to the Park District so they can properly maintain, create programs, and create an environment that is healthy for every citizen in this community. Whether you supported the Park District or not, it's too bad for you if you didn't, but you'll definitely be a person who can utilize the services. So if you look around the town, look at it. Look at the Regal Farm. Look at the tennis courts. Look at the tot lots. Look at Craig Park. Look at Central. You've got people who want to do something and improve the quality of life in your community, and you're fighting. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. If this was a different community, most communities admire and work hand in hand with the Park District because it's for the community. We're not separate. It's a separate taxing body. This board has nothing to do with that board. You need to understand that. I know it's beyond yours, but you really need to understand that. The taxpayers of this community said yes, and it's not for you to deny the taxpayers. So the purpose of this meeting is to ensure that there's a proper transfer of property to ensure that the Park District can go on and get the programs necessary for the community and increase the things going on in our community. Right now, we've got individual groups running programs, and they're not healthy programs. And most people talk just about this Park District, but when you did the research, half the people that said no to it got kids in the other Park District. They're going everywhere else. So finally, there's an opportunity to do something. Do I have to re-educate you again on who pays the taxes and who doesn't? A veteran with a 70% disability pays no taxes. Seniors has a senior freeze. They don't get a tax increase. And there goes a variety of other items down the line that reduces the property taxes. So get thorough understanding to what you're speaking about, and let's not be angry. This is a great opportunity for this community. Stop holding the hostage community. So the whole agreement with my board of trustees, what do you guys think about the transfer of the properties? That's what it's all about.
May I be recognized, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Bomb.
What about now? Can you all turn me up? Okay. How about now? Testing, testing. Still can't hear me?
Just yell. It's on.
What about now?
Talk as loud as you can.
I'm not gonna blow my phone up. This foolishness. What about now? Okay. So my first question is, Mayor, since you seem to be the spokesperson, do you have any documentation of the language that talks about what the legal status of the Park District is?
There's language, yes.
Why don't we have it? So that would tell, wait a minute. So that would tell how the commissioner should be chosen. It would tell every step you have to do. Second question, where were these park meetings held?
At the golf course.
On village property,
Correct.
without the board permission?
The board doesn't have to give them permission. They are a part of the village by the
You
taxpayer.
can't come to my house and have a meeting without my
We're
permission.
not talking about your house.
Well, it's the same principle. Next question, when were these meetings held? Can you give me the dates?
I can't give you the dates because I haven't participated in them. It's not for me to
Well, how do
participate in
you
them.
know?
I do. Because I'm aware of what's going on in my community.
Who are the commissioners?
They're in the audience.
I asked you a question straight. Who are the
Commissioner, stand up, please. All tax-paying residents of the great village of University Park.
I'm talking to the mayor right now, though. I'm talking. No, I did not.
Point of order.
No,
I
I
asked them to stand, and just like they were talking, she had her word to say. So now we.
Okay, it's my time.
Hey, man, Brooks, you sit still, man.
Claiming my time.
You sit
I can
still.
do it. I can do
You
it.
sit still.
Point of order, it's my
Sit still.
time right now.
Relax, man.
It's my time.
You don't want this. Not tonight. Not tonight. I'm telling you, not tonight.
No, not you tonight.
Okay.
I know it's
Guys.
called a point of order.
How much money does the Park District have?
And $20,000
Where did they get it from?
from the levy.
I'm talking now. Where did
From
we?
the levy.
When?
The
Because
same.
it takes a long time to get that money.
The levy's been passed, and they'll be getting allocations within the next. Soon
So
as the
they don't
village gets
have any
theirs.
money then? You said they're gonna be allocated.
They'll be getting their allocation just when the village gets theirs. There are another tax, when the library boards gets theirs, the park district gets theirs, when the Will County Mental Health Facility gets theirs, when the village gets theirs, they're in the same
So
alignment.
right now, they don't have.
The Forest Preserve
We don't
gets
have
it.
all our allocations yet for the library, so.
But you get it
So
on an
how
annual
much
basis.
money, it's a simple question. How much money does the park, so-called park district have, and where did they get it from? You say allocations. I would like to see an accounting of how much money they have before I can say yes to give away our property.
You're not giving it the property away.
According to this intergovernmental agreement it is. We're giving it away, and then if we want to use it, we got to pay the park district? That makes-
That's why we're having this conversation. so
I'm
we
only
can-
asking questions.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
So
So we
when
can
you-
dot
when
our
it's your
i's
time
and
to
cross
talk,
our
it's
t's.
my time.
It's my time to talk anytime I feel like it.
Okay,
But
well, then
I'll be
say that.
respectful.
Say that then. Say that. You don't have to be like that.
All right.
So you don't, so the meetings were held at the golf course without any other, I didn't know, without any board members knowing. You don't know when they were held. You have how many commissioners?
6.
And you have money that you don't really have, 800,000 from the levy. That's what you said? Is that, okay.
You know, it's,
So if the money is not allocated yet, how are you going to pay for it if we did, which I can't see it, if we did give our parks to the park district? How are you going to take care of the park? You don't have the money yet.
go ahead, speak. Go ahead, sir.
Park district meeting?
Attended the Park District meetings, I am
Well,
aware.
when was it?
They're here, they post their meetings, they're publicly posted agendas, they can probably answer that question better than me, I don't remember offhand, but I have attended a number of them. We drafted the IGA agreement, it's a working agreement, so what is before you all today, you don't necessarily have to agree to, but the way it's drafted now, it doesn't actually commence until the money is in and a transfer is done. So if you all were to agree to it now as written, nothing is going to transfer. That's going to happen later once their money comes in, and then the conveyance can happen.
Does that say that in this agreement?
It says it in the agreement, yes.
What page is it on?
So if you look at paragraph 2, the effective date, there's an effective date and there's a commencement date. The
On
effective,
what page? I'm sorry.
page 4.
You see that on page 4?
Is that page 3? Is that on page 3, Tilden?
Oh, okay. Do you have this one? The one that has draft written across.
Okay, wrong page, okay, wrong page. So this agreement doesn't even have a date.
It's a working document.
Correct, it's a working document. So
So why don't we, okay, it's okay to discuss it now, but why are we discussing it like we're gonna say yes to something that's not even have a real date? Because you don't know when you're gonna get the money? Is that it?
Is that for me?
Whoever wants to answer it.
So I think you all are just having discussions now to iron out the terms of it. But if you all were to agree with it as written, the effective date would be the date that is signed. The commencement date will be, as I said, the conveyance date.
So then we're gonna give over our land for $10. $10. Page 4, 3, little a.
About the same thing, pretty much.
I yield my time, Mayor.
Brooks.
So, I'm gonna go backwards on some of the notes. Attorney Tillman, the only concern I have with this, and I don't blame you per se, is we have our village attorney working with this park district without even having a conversation with our board. And the problem I have is that you represent us. Your job is to protect us. So if we didn't want to have or turn over property to the park district, you would be the one to help protect us. So I have an issue with that, and really I don't go to you, I go to Bert Odelson. That's who I'm gonna put it off on, because Bert know better, period. And if Felicia was here, she know better too. So I have a huge problem with that. To go backwards in reference to Park and Rec, again, I have an issue because in the beginning of 2019 of this mayoralship, a comment was made that the lots look horrible, everything's dilapidated. What I was saying, and it was, Trustee Williams, I heard you over there. I got my ears clean. So at the end of the day, it was going in that range in 2016 when we had a mayor fighting with the Operation and Legislation Committee. So we're not going to sit here and blame one mayor on how the lot look. At the end of the day, this mayor and the 2-3 village managers had more than enough 7 years to fix and clean the lots. So I don't think that that was more of a political exchange than anything. If it looks like that, then that falls back on this board who've been in place since last election, which was 2025, meaning that we didn't clean the lots, we didn't do our job, and I know we ain't gonna sit here and just blame Elizabeth Scott for it, because that's for the village manager to do. Right now, this belongs to the village. When I sat here and I said to the mayor, this is where lines must have got crossed. Park and Rec, we have a Park and Rec. We removed it from the budget because in 2016, we all forgot about the major layoff. This is where Parks and Rec stems from. It didn't get shut down because it was incompetence. It got shut down because people was mismanaging money and took 20-something million out of TIF 5 and didn't put the money back. So the only solution, I know. They there. I'm surprised they ain't in jail, because I know who did it. But it should have been that at the end of the day, we had more than sufficient time. And when I said the budget was only $250,000, what I don't understand is that when TIF 5, when that money was released, why we just didn't take the money? Kevin Battles is supposed to be the guy doing all this with the kids. Why are we not taking Park and Rec, put it back on the budget? It costs the taxpayers nothing extra because it's already in the budget. I said it. The only problem I have is, and this is what angers me, you having a damn meeting at the golf course, but here's what I said, because I'm the man that sat there and watched the dollars come in and out. I'm the man on the first executive session, sat here and could not believe the board that left us a mess in 2017. We had over 40 million plus left in lawsuits. And so what I don't understand is that when I try to be transparent in 2019, I sat here and said, we budgeted over $650,000 to go to the golf course, period. But we shut down Park and Rec to save that extra money, but we put the money to try to run the golf course. We turn around, instead of thinking about our kids and putting money into the golf course, into a company that did not open for 2 years. So where the hell is that them $2-3 million? Because they got away from money. But when it could have been $2-3 million put into Park and Rec if we really cared about our kids. So we can't sit here and start saying the people spoke, because let's rewind on that one. Because she did not, Mayor Covington did not put that information out there. Because right now there's a slander case that would be coming about when politicians did not do anything and people have it free to keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, and you're destroying their reputation. The truth is that the people voted it down the first time. And then in the dark of the night, without coming to the board, because when I looked and seen the names that was on there, and said to myself, how dare you? So you didn't win this election, let me whip something up in another language, get the village attorney and help him out, and let's do it in the dark of the night, and it passed. So it's not right for you. If you want to do it, if you want to make it fair, you got two options. And if it was a leader, if it was me, I would turn around and bring Park and Rec back, put it back in the budget for $250,000. You're not going to spend it. Then I heard you say 2 people were running programs. They were running excellent programs, but half the time their money was going to fixing the fields. And the thing is that it's our responsibility to fix those fields. It belongs to the village. If it wasn't our responsibility and it wasn't us, then why are we having this agreement right now that you want us to turn over the property such as Regal Farm, Pine Lake, Craig Park, and Palmer Park? And at the end of the day, as trustees, why are we turning over prime property to them? Why should we? We already pay for that to get cut and maintained. The only thing we don't get maintained is the baseball field itself to their baseball conditions. We don't do it. So when we start talking about responsibility, this started in 2016. This didn't start just yesterday. And the thing is yes, the people spoke, but the people spoke twice. You had them on the first one that said no, and the second was done in the middle of the night. We did not know. We did not know. We didn't know it was on the ballot. We didn't even get the residents didn't even have a chance to respond. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we sitting up here arguing about, well, first of all, the golf course. I don't think that was a Saturday. I went up to the golf course on a Saturday. You was there, Mayor, and there was a partition with a group of individuals. I'm not going to say their name. I hope that was not a Park District meeting, because it wasn't posted. Because I was going up to see what had Miss Elizabeth Scott done when she had took care of the golf course, and I was like, oh, she did a great job, and I walked in by accident. There's a meeting in there, so don't know what meeting that was. When you talk about creating programs, sir, what's the purpose of Kevin Battles and everything we're doing now? My thing is, if we are so financially stable and we can't find to spend the $250,000 budgeted, I didn't say spend, budgeted, because you found over $650,000 and not more to give to a company to run the golf course for 2-3 years. Never open. I want to say tonight, we will be out of our rabbit mind. And if the best excuse is to say the people spoke on this last vote, I say do the right thing and give it a rubber match. Because I can tell you, coming off from 2025, the people said, tell your mayor. And I said, no, you tell him. You tell him to spend the $9 a month on his taxes. That's what they said, not me. So they're not happy. But this is a democracy. But what I'm saying is that we're going to spend money like this, over $500,000 plus on the golf course, and then come here tonight and say, well, the people spoke, and we doing this, we doing that, when all we could do, once again, I'm going to tell you how simple this is. Next board meeting, next week, you hired a public safety director that wasn't even legit. It wasn't even according to the ordinance. I got the email. Stop. Don't please. Point of order. Let me finish, please. No, point of order. Let me finish my time. That was the argument with her. It's my time in the cow. You hired somebody for public safety director without even telling the board. You could turn around and do the same thing and hire a Park and Rec director and get this place moving. If you want to make it Kevin Battles, you do it. but it belongs to the people already. And why should the people give it up? We are up here not to vote on our conscience, but to vote on their voices, and they want to keep the taxes down. That's what it is. We don't need another taxing body, and I yield my time for now.
Well, Trustee Brooks, great emotional speech, but at the end of the day, there was nothing that was hidden. Every resident got a mailer, and the first reason it failed, well, okay, wait, can I finish? Okay. I talk to you all the time. So anyway, listen, the first time it was misleading information. And I actually have pictures of Vivian Covington putting signs out and going around passing out petitions, because it was at the lady's house, Larry Wayne's house, had a big old sign back there, and I took a picture of her out there posting and said, and she was calling people, telling it, but we're not about that. We're trying to move the community forward. We are trying to move the community forward. So all these things is like, these are foreign people. These people live in our community just as well as you do. And they do, yes, ma'am. Okay. Go ahead, trustee.
Okay, I agree with some of the things that Trustee Brooks was saying. 2016 was a rough time. We had Jonna Townsend as our so-called village manager. That happened overnight. And at that time, our money was terrible. It was stated by Paula Wilson right outside the old village hall that 28 million was missing. Later, that number jumped to 42 million. We did not have money. We had to close down Regal Farm. And then we let the 7 police officers go, but you bring the director. You bring the director from, excuse me, I'm talking. Excuse me, I'm making my point. You didn't say anything to anybody else.
Mrs. Morgan, the councilwoman has the floor. Please allow her to speak without disrupting her.
It's okay, because I know how you feel about me, so you always are gonna have something to say when it comes to me. And that's okay, I love you too. I love you too. But we did have a park district which you fought vividly for Parks and Rec, wanting to keep that director who came over to the village hall with no Parks and Rec, but you give her a job and you give her some busy money and you still keep her at almost the same salary. And you said nothing until she ended up calling the police on you. So let's be clear. As far as I know about the Park District, it was on the referendum. I did vote no to it at that time, but it did win. And I know for a fact that we do need something for our young people, because right now, when my grandson has nothing to do, I have to Uber him to Matson, where he has to pay an out-of-area fee to use their gym. Same thing when we had a park, I called it Parks and Train Wreck here, because every program that was offered, and I signed my daughters up, there was never enough people to get the program off the rope. Excuse me, who? I don't know, you tell me, you were the mayor. Okay, well, okay, I just know. Okay, but I'm just saying, but you were, and I'm not throwing darts. I'm saying, at that time, Townsend was the manager, you were the mayor, and all those programs, every single time I signed up for something, I end up having to get a refund because there was never enough children to participate. It was sad. Excuse me, are you saying something? What are you saying? Okay. Protecting who? Oh, Ms. Townsend?
Keep going, let's go.
All I know, it was a train wreck and it didn't work. I want things done properly. I want them doing correct. I want to make sure that whatever funds allocated, whatever we're doing, that we got legal counsel and that we're doing it right so that people don't get misled or misconstrued with the money that they're gonna be paying for this park district. We paid $750,000 for parks and train wreck back then. And the place went to the dogs, the floors, the roof, everything. Every time we brought it to the table and we voted, I won't say her name, and she would say, oh, we need a new porch, we need a new this. And then they bring in some shoddy workers to do the job, and a year later, it's still tore up, wrecked, water coming through the roof, you name it. It was a disaster. All I want to see is that we have something decent for the seniors and for our children where they can meet, play, have fields, and get things done in the proper order. That's all I'm asking for. I don't want no back deals or no behind the curtains. Who's the man behind the curtains? I'm not the Wizard of Oz. We don't want to hear that. We want to know exactly what's up front and what's happening. That's what I'm asking for, so that things can be decent and so that my grandchildren, I don't have to keep Ubering them out of the area and paying out of the area fees just so they can play ball or do tumbling or something. American Dance School got I don't know how much of my money. Can we ever have something decent here? That's all I want. So that's my take.
Thank you, trustee. So listen, let's be logical. I think everybody's calmed down a little bit. The purpose of the park district, it alleviates a whole lot of work from the village. You look at Public Works, we're short right now of manpower. Public Works does not have the manpower to maintain those things in the proper perspective. This thing, it takes Public Works away from those things and actually helps them deliver more services to the constituents of this community. And you know what, everybody in here was a part of somebody's park district, grew up in somebody's park district, whether you grew up in Chicago, whether you grew up in Harvey, whether you grew up somewhere. Most people participated in park districts. And for those who don't know, that small amount of money that they levied, most of the time, most park districts achieve more money in grants than they do and they're actually budgeting to do. So, and everybody talks about 2016. I'm the only person up here that was an active member of the Board of Trustees then. So everybody else has speculation, hearsay, second and third information. I got the facts. And when Trustee Brooks talked about the $20 million that was illegally wire transferred from the TIF, it was not me. It was $32.4 million actually wire transferred from TIFs. So those signatures, Mayor Covington, Lafayette Lanier, David Sevier, that's a public document. Those are the people who did the illegal wire transfers. The Board of Trustees had no idea about any wire transfers. There was never a vote on any wire transfers. And before Mrs. Morgan got sick, she was a strong advocate and she knew it herself. But unfortunately, she's got that thing going on, and we'll pray for her that she gets well soon. But in the meantime, those are the actual facts about that. So, yes, the facts are the facts. So that's what the whole thing is about the park district. So there's an opportunity to do something different. Everyone seems like you can't get over the past. Change is really good, but you have to be willing to adapt and work with folks. You can't always say what we used to do. That's just like if I worked at the hospital or if I was a police officer or something for 7, 8 years ago and all I could talk about is that's behind me. That's not the future. We're looking at the future. We're planting seeds for the next generation of people. Our senior citizens need help. When I did the statistics, 32% of our senior citizens go to the Matson Health Center. Another 27% go to Country Club Hills for their line dancing on Tuesday. Mrs. Pugh across the street goes to Hazelcrest for their line dancing. A variety of people have their kids registered in Creek Park District. So when we try to do something for ourselves, why is there such a problem instead of just having understanding? This is a working document. This isn't etched in stone. We were hoping that we can have an educated conversation and work in the best interest of the community. If the voters said that they wanted the park district, we should do our very best to accommodate them to provide the services that are necessary. And most people Well, if they have to give up a sacrifice, I'll give up my six-pack for $9 additional a month. I don't mind investing into the future of our community. So that's my point of view. So, you know, everybody has their point. Everybody talks about the past. People that talk about the past weren't even present. They weren't even present. No one was in this office, on this podium, when all those things were going on. So the thing, can we have an educated conversation on how we can transition our community to the Jetsons instead of the Flintstones? Because some people just can't get over yesterday. Yesterday will never come back. It will never, ever come back again. So here's an opportunity to set the thing forward and move forward. We've gotten so many compliments. Wow, University Park is the first community in 61 years to have a park district created. And here people are fussing about it. In most park districts, like when our people go to Matson, they pay a non-resident fee. Matson residents pay a Matson fee. It's the same setup here. So what's the challenge and what's the difference? Is it because that the mayor had the ability to make the appointment? Is that what the whole problem is? Mrs. Morgan, I've asked you repeatedly to be respectful. You've had your podium. This is the cow, but it's not for you to holler out. No, you've had your 3 minutes. Go ahead, sister. Mrs. Morgan, there's nothing been done undercover. The only thing that was done undercover was put us in a deficit with those wire transfers. That's the only thing that was put in the dark. And I led the efforts to bring in the federal authorities to make sure that we were in compliance. It was I. So, Trustee Sonia.
Can you hear me now? I don't. Hello. Listen. Hello, okay. As I sit here today, I see both sides of the coin. And it's conflicting, but we have to look at, I'm tired of sitting here and we're dealing with the Hatfields and the McCoys. Our whole entire community does not deserve this. Our children do not deserve this. I get it. Trust me, I get it. There needs to be transparency when it comes down to the residents and this different taxing body that's coming. I did not vote for it. I've made that clear. I did not vote for it both times. I fought it ruthlessly. But 1,112 people, 1,200 people spoke. They said this is what they want. So as residents, we have to come together and respect each other and just give each other respect. You have children that were sitting in here tonight, had to see this, look at this, hear this, and now they're gone. That's embarrassing. My thing is this. The park district, if it has been established, we don't know if it's legal, illegal, but it's established. And the argument is it's established. Should we give our properties to the park district? Do we need to have robust conversation about our properties going to the park district? Are we going to keep living in the past? Are we going to keep bringing up all of this nonsense that happened in 2016 and we're in 2026? We're trying to put our village and move it forward. We want to be competitive as Crete, as New Lenox, as Mokina, and that is going to come with us coming together. A house divided within itself will never stand. And see, we know that all of these different things, we can address the elephant in the room. It's politically motivated. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be true. but do the children and the other residents that are not present tonight deserve all of this nonsense that's taking place tonight? This is where I'm at. The thing about this is that when we look at this, we have bigger, I'm listening to you all be extremely passionate tonight. But were you that passionate when we poisoned our children with aqua water and the lead? So this is where I'm at. See, my thing is this. There was no referendum at the time that they decided to change the water stream and poison our whole entire community. So my thing is this. When we're looking at everything, if we're going to point fingers at each other, we need to point fingers at all of the major issues that are going on in this community. Now, we're financially getting on our feet. We're not where we want to be, but we're not where we used to be. And so we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to do for our children? When are we going to decide to do it? When are we going to come together and get it done? It's just unreal. Now, we had an election yesterday in reference to a Democratic Party. Democrats respect democracy. That's what we do, whether we like the decisions that the legislators make or we don't. But if you're going to do this, you got to stand by what you believe in. 1,100 people said this is what they want. 1,200, I don't know the exact number, but 1,200 decided this is what they want. Who are we as a few? I can't even see even 50 people in the room to decide that's not what they're going to get because of your own feelings, your own emotions. You can't make decisions on emotions. You have to make decisions on practicality. So we need to make sure that whatever happens with the properties in our community, I feel, now I'm going to be totally honest with you, all of them need to be appraised. We need to know what it is that we have and what it's worth before we start to transfer any properties to anybody and give things away. We don't even know what they're worth. So, and when it comes down to Regal Farm, you know how passionate I am about Regal Farm because I know the miles that I put on these 2 feet to get funding for Regal Farm. So I'm going to stand and say, well, what do? I spoke with the attorney. Is these the things that we can do? We have to have robust conversation that is not biased, that is not politically motivated, that is going to be fair to the entire community, and make sure that we do what's right. Because this is what we deserve, this is what all of these residents in this community deserve, and this is what we're gonna have to do. And so it's not fair. And see, and I can't get past that the children can't even have water to drink out the water fountain at the school. And we sit here arguing about a park district. We need to be arguing about how our children start choking if they can go to the water fountain. That's a valid point. So, and then we got fields that are not done, and all of these different yas. What are we going to do for our children for the summer? We're in March. What are we going to do? What are we going to give them? Where are they going to go? Where are they going to play? Are the fields ready for them to play baseball and football and all of these different things? Where are they? What are we going to do? We need to start making a plan and stop fighting each other so we can get things in order. This is absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense. And this is what everybody in YouTube land is watching. We're watching about a park district. Did they do all of this fighting when they had the library? Who picked all of the library? Who picked all of the commissioners? All of the first library people. Who did that? How was that done? That set precedent, so that's something that we should be looking at to see how they got their library going and how they picked their library trustees. That is already done. Why are we trying to recreate the wheel? Why not use what's already mapped out? We have not looked into these things and decided this is what we're going to do and do it right and do it respectfully. Now, the commissioners are sitting here with their time. What I don't know, when they were sworn in, I do know when one was sworn in, but the thing about it is this is a volunteer position. They're doing these things out of the kindness of their heart to want to see the children and the community come together. We tired of getting in our cars riding to Matson, Park Forest, all of these, because my children had to go to Creek.
Homewood.
That's where they played, Creek Bulldogs. That's where they had to go. Everything that had to be done was done out of this community. Our opportunity is now. It's now.
So trustee, so listen, trustee, the way that this should,
What?
Mrs. Hold on, go ahead, Mrs. Morgan. Listen, Mrs. Morgan, let me acknowledge you first before you start speaking. Go ahead.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask.
Let me, I gotta, give me 1 second.
All of us was talking about the park district. That's not the argument. That's old news. That's been there, done that. We did that. But it is not up to Mayor Rudez, Joe Rudez, to point out, when you look at the school board, they were voted in, elected in. When you look at the library, people had to vote on them. Every position has to be voted on, not have meetings, and then somebody is pointing out, hey, you want to be in here, come on, let's do this. And then bombard us in a meeting. This body can stand there and talk over, totally disrespecting the trustee, talk over his head with this gentleman here who I don't even know who he is, and I thought I knew everybody. But it's not done right. This other trustee, so-called, said, well, we want to do things right. Things need to be done right.
All right.
Let's do it right.
Let me ask you a question. This is the question. This is the question. This is a question for me. I don't know who.
Mrs. Morgan.
Right, I get that. But what I'm asking, I am fair at all times, because I wouldn't be addressing it like this if I wasn't. So my thing is this. When I'm looking at the situation and you're talking about being fair, let's talk about being fair. Did anyone on the board, I was not on the board at the time that the water was changed. And no, we've been going back in the past. Let's go back in the past. Well, I'm gonna go in the past, because that's what I want. He can't stop me from.
Listen, Mrs. Morgan. We're gonna stop.
A lot of them live in the past, but my question is this. If
Mrs. Morgan, I'm going to ask you to stop the debate right now because, listen, hold up. Because the reason for this meeting is to discuss the IGA elements and not to go about talking about everything else. There's opportunity here. This is a working document. That's all we're here for. We're not here for argument, debate, who did this, who did that. And Mrs. Morgan, just for the record, my friends call me Joe Rudez, my relatives call me Joe Rudez, and everybody else. I am mayor. Well, you're not going to call me Joe in this. And right now, you're invisible to me moving forward. So.
Go ahead, Mayor. Go ahead and speak, please.
I have something I want to say.
And yes, go ahead, trustee.
Trustee Jenkins. I just said what you're doing. Can you all hear me? Try it again. That's better. Can you hear me? Okay. So, just by listening to all of the different trustees and their viewpoints and what they stated, a lot of the information is relevant. As for the Park District, it did pass the referendum. It passed, and we, like I always say, I respect the vote. But it's the process in doing things correctly is what's the problem. So bringing it back to the agenda items is First, I just want to make sure that I put on the record, for the record, I want to note that there's currently a court motion pending regarding the lawful formation of the University Park District Board. Under the Illinois Park District Code, appointments to a coterminous Park District Board require the advice and consent of the corporate authorities, which is Trustee Brooks, Trustee Thompson, Trustee Fulcher, Mayor Rudez, Trustee Jenkins, Trustee Williams, and Trustee Lewis. And that did not happen. Because that issue is before the court, I believe it would be prudent for the village to postpone any transfer of parks or recreation facilities until the court clarifies the lawful board formation process, which is also the establishment of the initial board, which was not done the correct way. And my concern is simply that the village and the district proceed in full compliance with state law before public assets are transferred or anything happens. So there is a motion that was done by, not me as Trustee Fulcher, but Donna Fulcher as a resident and taxpayer, that I filed a filing for the court, for the Park District, in reference to making sure that there's a motion for clarification on how the initial board needs to be established or should have been established, whether it's it should have been determined whether it was supposed to be 5 elected or 7 appointed commissioners through the consent of the corporate authorities. And that was not put on the petition, which it should have been put on the petition, and it should have been referenced in the referendum. And because that didn't happen, based off of the statute, it defaults back to that it becomes elected. So the position for the commissioner should be elected now. But I'm gonna leave that up to the judge and the court. And the other motion that's out there is for an emergency temporary injunction, which stops any board that wasn't done, that was not appointed, that was selected, which the mayor does get to select the people, but as I said, the corporate authorities, which is the board, it has to come to this board for us to vote on it to whether approve or not approve, and that did not happen. So because that did not happen, and as you see, we see a Park District Board that's functioning, meeting and trying to make decisions. So that's where I made a motion for a temporary emergency injunction to stop them from doing anything until the judge clarifies how the initial board needs to be set up. Based off of that, so I just want to make sure that was on the record that Donna Fulcher, not Trustee Fulcher, but Donna Fulcher as a resident and taxpayer is the one that filed that lawsuit. Also, if we look at what they're presenting to us, which is on page 2 of, we got 2 packets, 2 sections, but the first one, the one that was on top. Right, it's the intergovernmental agreement between the Village of University Park and the University Park District for villages' access to and use of public space in the district. On page 2. It's the recitals, but we're on page 2. So, board, it says, so first, they said that we want to give all the parks, which is Regal Farm, Palmer Park, Craig Park, what's that, Pine Lake, the 2 tot lots, over to the Park District for $10. So all of that, they saying, let's give that all to them, and all they're gonna give, the Park District will give us is $10. So that's one thing. Second, when you look under number 2, on page 2, it states that that's what it's about. Notwithstanding any additional or conflicting insurance, notice, hold harmless defense, and or indemnification provisions and obligations between the parties identified elsewhere in this agreement, the village agrees that for a period of 2 years, immediately following the effective date of any transfer of title, ownership, and or control of the properties and facilities identified in Exhibit A, which is the properties that I just stated, that the village shall ensure that the district, the park district, including its officials, its employees, its named insured or an additional insured on such policies and coverages, including workers' compensation insurance, through the 2-year period. So this intergovernmental agreement is stating that not only do they want us to give the village, to give the property, all the property to the park district for $10, but they also want the village to pay for the park district insurance for 2 years. 2 years to pay for their insurance, for every employee, for every board member, and also to pay for their workers' compensation insurance as well. 2 years, okay? Ridiculous. And let's go to the next one. Number 9 on page 4. The village agrees to defend and identify the district and its officials and employees for and from any claims, lawsuits, complaints, costs, or damages in which the district and or its officials and employees are named or found liable, and that arises from the acts or omissions of the village and its employees. So not only do they want us to give the parks away for $10, they want us to pay for their insurance for 2 years, for all the property of the park district, for all the employees, all the board members, pay their workers' compensation. We just had a whole issue about workers' compensation, that right now this village has high workers' compensation, but now they want us to pay for the park districts for 2 years. And not only that, the village is gonna cover all of the attorney fees just in case if the park district gets sued. The village is gonna pay for the 2 years, all of the claims, all of the lawsuits, all the attorney fees. Now, does this sound like an intergovernmental agreement? This seems very one-sided to me.
So,
Seems very one-sided to me. This is what's in the documents. Huh? Say it again? This is what's in the documents. And everybody know that does not sound right at all, okay? 2 years, we're gonna cover their insurance, all of their insurance for the employees, board members, anybody that's there, we're gonna cover this village is gonna cover their insurance. Not only that, we're gonna cover all their attorney fees. And for any claims, anything that comes up. That is absolutely ridiculous, and that is something that should have been addressed, and this is very one-sided, like I said, and that's why when the process comes down, when people do things and they just do things behind the scenes, that's why I, Donna Fulcher, resident taxpayer, had to file the lawsuit because of stuff just like this.
so Trustee Fulcher,
Hold on, Mayor, hold on.
as we stated earlier, this is just like a budget. This is what we're here to discuss and work out things. This is nothing in stone.
It's not.
So don't make it seem like it's in stone. This is something to be worked on.
Before this was even drafted, we should have had the conversation.
Well, Trustee.
It shouldn't have never even been.
Well, Trustee, listen.
Talking about let's work together. We didn't work together because it was already drafted.
Let me say something. Well, Trustee, listen. You talk about transparency.
Yes.
There's not one member on this board, but a couple of them, that asked me, how can we move on with the park district? You've never asked not one.
Has to move on?
Let me finish. You've never asked one time about how can we get this park district up and going. You know, you talk about transparency. You've never had a conversation with me about how can we get the park district going. No one has. So are we going to fail the people, or are we going to move forward? So the other thing is, and you talk about transparency, well, I don't know what kind of transparency that is when you sneak down to Will County Court and file the motion in your name, which is going to be tossed out tomorrow. But
That's what you think. But see, transparency is that it was sent. You just referenced me, so I'm referring back to you. As me talking about, let's get the park district going, that is not true, because when it came up, I said this multiple times, the referendum passed, I respect the vote, let's do it correctly. And that's exactly what I said. And I told you at the last one, I mentioned that this was not done correctly. But I'm gonna bypass that. If you do have the right to select the people. I said, but you have to bring it to the board. But you, Mayor Rudez, said you're not bringing anything to the board. You're gonna do the selection yourself.
Done.
That's where it becomes the process is not done correctly. That's where it's not transparency. When you are gonna select, we have residents in this community who should have the opportunity to say if they want to be a part of the park district, to put in something. I said it at a board member to say, residents, I think we should have something where you could put an application in, send something. I think Ms. Deborah Stroud was one of the ones who was like, I would like to be a part of it. So yes, you get to select it, that's fine. But it still has to come to this board. We are the corporate authorities, and that's affect to any appointment that is done, appointments. And we steady having this issue where people are getting appointed and they're not coming to this board to be voted on. And that's what should be
all right,
done.
let's do a sample. Does the library board come to this board for their action? This is just an example.
This is a brand new board.
This is a
brand new
completely,
board.
it's just like, it's the same setup. I'm sorry, let me finish. It's a separate taxing body, just like the library is. It's a completely separate taxing body. So if you decide to say something different, it is. But the fact is the fact, Donna. And you know what? It's really sad that you will undermine the residents of this community, but try to go and file some petition instead of trying to work with us.
I didn't undermine it. I just said, what did I just say?
And-
See, that's where I said my
and there's nothing that's been done.
My concern is simply that the village and the districts proceed in full compliance with state law before public access, before anything is done. Follow the law. When we start something off that's tainted, this is the beginning of this park district. If it start off tainted, it's going to continue to remain that way. You start off and do things the correct way, then everybody will feel good with the whole process, and then we'll be all in because everybody is aware of it and the things are done correctly. That is it, that's all.
Well, you know what? Unfortunately, nothing has been done illegal. Everything was above the board. And all of a sudden, you're interested in something that you advocaatly fought against. You fought so hard against this to undermine everything because you wanted to run your social programs.
No,
you
that's
gave a
not
list
true.
of social programs, and you asked
didn't
me
want to run any
to run
social
programs.
programs.
You were elected to set laws and legislation.
I didn't want to run any set programs.
Oh, yeah, you wanted to set
When
programs.
I presented something to the board last year for summer programs for 3 months, which, what's that? Trustee Jenkins just said, what are we doing for our kids for the summer? She just said that. So when I continue to hear that from the residents, year after year after year, residents
Then
got up there
support the
at that
park district.
residents got up there at that podium and said, what are you going to do for our kids? I was tired of that, and I said, I'm going to take an initiative. No, that's not my job as a legislator, but I was going to take the initiative and do something, and that's exactly what I did, but you all voted it down because I didn't present it to the right people. I didn't give it to the Moles or whoever. They didn't present it. So as for a park district, no. Did I want another taxing body? Absolutely not, because this village can't afford to pay for things just like they're doing right now with Mr. Battles when he comes to present all these different programs. That's the exact same thing that we have been asking to be done for the past several years. I always said I wanted programs to be done in my community so my children who are 10, 12, 14, and 16 can do it right here. And I've said that multiple times.
And
Okay, let me.
Go ahead, Trustee Jenkins.
I want to ask.
Wait,
Okay.
1 second,
Okay,
one
let her
second.
go.
Everybody been talking, okay?
the
So
mic off.
just so the residents know, Mr. Otterson sent us all an email. It says, Mayor and Board, Trustee Fulcher has filed a complaint in court regarding the people of University Park's formation of a park district. She named the village, which includes Trustee Fulcher, as the defendant, so she's technically suing herself. As village attorneys, we are defending the village, which is really defending the people's right to vote for the park district. We have filed a motion to dismiss this complaint, and I am confident the court will win in the village and the people of the Fables. So since we all sitting here talking about what we want for the kids, I want to know, where is the facility for me as a resident, for our children to go to participate in a facility for programs. Where is that facility in this village here? It is not one. We sitting up here arguing. We got the library. We have this village hall. We talking about our kids. Be passionate about the kids. Let's get a building. If we're in here, we're talking. Let's come together and talk out this piece of paper, because it's not installed. Let's talk about it. 1,200 people talked about it. 1,200 people, we all said we respect the vote. Respect the vote. Let's talk about this here. I understand what you're saying about the process and everything like that. I get it, Ms. Morgan, I get it. We're gonna sit up here as a board and work it together, because you all deserve better for your tax dollars, my tax dollars. All of us deserve better. We're not going to sit up here and say we're not going to give the children or the people, the 1,200 people that spoke, nothing. As a board, come on. We're not going to be in here all night. Let's talk about it. If we have to have more meetings, let's talk about it. I don't have the capacity. I'm passionate about kids. I grew up in the Park District.
Yes.
I was a track star. I did all of that in a Park District that my community put together. We are a community, and we are arguing about the process. We're going to work on the process. Let's work on the process, trustees. Let's work on the process. Let's not argue about it. If we have to have a meeting to vote on the commissioner, whatever it takes, let's talk about the process and stop arguing. It is 8:24, and we have been arguing about the kids. If you care about the kids, be about the kids. I can't take it, because I'm about the kids. You can ask, if I brought my 4 grandkids up here, they'll tell you that grandmama is about the kids. I've been about them. I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. I'm a true athlete, still in this state. Named, hold records. Miss Doretha Franklin is another stakeholder, and she wouldn't put in her time. She has kids. All of y'all have kids. I'm sorry, I got a little emotional, but let's not.
We're just
Let us, y'all, come on, I'm Wusan. Let us sit here and figure out a process as the board. Because these people look at us. Them babies walked out that door like we don't care. And that's not true. You care, you care, you care.
I care.
Everybody,
Everybody care.
You, Miss Millie, I see you with the kids all the time. We all care about the kids, even the commissioners. Let's just calm down. Board, we some smart people.
Yes.
Okay? Let's be about it.
Yes.
Let us have a day where we're talking with the mayor, us, and let's work out this process. Because it's 8:25 right now.
Well, that's what's been asked for multiple times. It's been said, each time it's been brought up on the thing, we said the exact same thing. As for a strategic plan, if we worked on a strategic plan, we could have came up and said, instead of spending millions of dollars, giving that over to a forensic auditor, IRH, instead of giving millions of dollars to CHW, golf course, who didn't do anything, we could have had a facility. We could have had a facility.
We could have, but we didn't.
You just said, where's the facility?
Exactly.
We could have had a facility,
but we gave,
the village gave the money away.
Okay.
So when you gave the money away, that's what happens. We could have had all those things, and that's why when I continue to ask for a strategic plan, let's have a meeting together, but no, it's not, we can't have it. We can't have it.
Wait.
We want to talk about
Trustee Fields. So let me ask this to the
If we
lawyer.
have it, great.
Point of order.
It's my time and I'm speaking, okay? I get what you're saying. So attorney, Ms. Morgan, can you stop? Can you stop just for 1 second? We can have a conversation, just you and I. I believe what all of y'all are in here passionate about what's going on. Ms. Morgan, I wouldn't be up here. I'm speaking on the mic, telling you I understand. I don't know what more can I say. Attorney, can you break down what can we change in this language when we, Theo, Jewel, Donna, Sonia, Gina, Karen, Mayor, what is it so we can let the residents know? What is not a working document? We can change
It says draft.
CHAGEND.
It's a draft.
So, right, so as I
It's not-
stated earlier, this is absolutely a working document, and as I listen to you all, it sounds like you are objecting to conveying the property, and we don't have to convey it if that's not what your
Exactly.
prerogative is. If you all want to
Pay double
lease it,
taxes.
for example, to the Park District and do an IGA that defines how you all do the shared usage, we can draft it that way. We drafted it like this so you understand what terms and provisions have to be in the agreement, and now you all can go through it, and we can make amendments to each of these provisions, and we kind of communicate with the two entities until we get to some working document that can be signed and approved by both bodies. It's really up to you all. Of course.
Just a quick question for you. When you drafted, my question for you,
I didn't draft it,
I
but
mean,
go on.
well, when they were at their meeting, did they have an attorney?
It was another attorney present, correct? And someone else worked on this, not myself.
Okay, because this is the biggest issue I have, and I'm listening to you. Yes, I understand, but even at the end of the day, even with the statement, I've read the email that Trustee Lewis wrote. Again, Bert Olson firm job is to protect us. And in this matter, I don't care if it's one trustee, 4 trustees, when we all sit as a board, we should all be informed. I don't have one email about one meeting in reference to this document or meeting with the Park District. In my point of view, he could have said, you have 2 options, and you said something, I nod my head at you. Like, if you brought that option, I can understand that option. But again, if he was our village attorney protecting us, he would have listened to the fact that I've been saying for the past going on 9 years, 10 years I've been up here, I have clearly said Park and Rec is still on the books. It's just not in the budget. He could have said they can run it, we can open it, we can do 1,001 things, Tillman. He just never did it. So, and I mean, that's not a response, but I'm just saying he never protected us in this matter. And I have an issue with that because
How was he?
How he never protected us?
I didn't even know she did the injunction until we got this.
I'm listening to 2 people.
My question is if we having this conversation now.
Right.
We knew that this conversation was coming up. A lawsuit has been filed. The village attorney is gonna be paid to go down to Will County, and we're gonna spend thousands of dollars to do this, to protect something that we could have had a conversation about. I'm looking, and then like you just stated, the Park District had its own attorney. Is it uncommon, Mr.?
That's not my point,
I'm
trustee.
just asking him a question. Is it uncommon for them to have their attorney and we have our attorney?
That's
and
common.
They had a attorney.
No, that's common,
Right,
trustee.
so they had to have an attorney.
So
am I
you're
correct?
missing my point.
Okay,
My
what's your
point is that this all was done wrong.
Okay, and it's a
All
lot
of it
of,
was, that was one reason before you got up here, bills were pulled because Bert Olson knew what was going on. That's the point. And it was not told to me.
what
and it was
bills?
not. He billed us for help forming this Park District. Then we got Chris.
but wait.
What's his name? John Kasparic.
We had,
John Kasparic.
now wait.
So John Kasparic is
I'm
involved?
gonna go back and forth with the attorneys because I know for a fact that we had some attorneys that were billing us for legislation and we didn't get any ordinances or legislation.
Oh, you got him, trustee.
I got one. But we will build thousands
Mayor, I'm
and
not going
thousands
backwards
of
with this woman.
No, see,
Point of
the
order, I
problem
had the
here,
floor.
I'm like this.
Let me finish.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna say this to the residents. After he speaks. I want you guys to know something. And I'm not playing.
This is what I don't like. And the truth is, Bert Olderson knew about this. He didn't say nothing to us. That's what's the point. So at the end of the day, Mayor, whatever may have been going on, but I've sat up here.
When you say knew about what, this IGA?
Oh, even that. Tell me, y'all didn't tell us anything, and you present something like this. Everything she said is true. Why should we continue to come out of our pockets, especially insurance? And I know we're not going to sit up and keep. It's real easy to distract and say it's about the kids and put the kids right here. But all back here is a bunch of fluff and garbage that nothing but do at the end of the day, it come out the taxpayers' dollars for the Village of University Park. Not the Park District, the Village University Park. If we're gonna do this, I said this time and time again. Tell me you was not here. Felicia was. I said again, and I said it tonight. If we wanna talk about the kids, we can bring in Park and Rec again on the budget next week. You can hire a director. You just did something where you hired a director without telling us. Why are we not moving in that direction? Even if we didn't do that, even if that was just a move as a temporary move, it could have been done. So now we sitting up here talking, because this is dollars and cents. This is dollars and cents. And not only it's dollars and cents, but it's prime property. We're talking about Regal Farm. We're talking about Pine Lake. We're talking about prime property that belongs to the Village University Park. And if you're sitting up as a trustee, you're telling me you're about to give away these 3 properties and say it's about the kids? It's on there. I just read it. I know it's a working document, Mayor, but my point is that at this point, this is about operations of the village. The village still owns the properties. I'm sure, I've always, to my knowledge, the village manager gave the village, the director of public works, direction to maintain our parks. Sitting here talking about we don't have a parking rec is stretched thin. Man, the problem I have with that is we never recovered on none of the layoffs. We never recovered. And every time we go back, we don't even get enough bodies for this man to work with. And we never will survive.
What layout? I'm sorry, what layout?
We never recovered from 2016. And I'm sorry, we never recovered. We never recovered. We talking financially. Yeah, I mean, the point is that even then, their job is supposed to maintain some fields. You have Kevin Battles here who's doing his job. My thing is, what are we doing different now versus outside? We still have baseball and football. That was around before 2016. I just don't get it. It's like you got this on the ballot. It failed the first time. You found the mistake.
Done.
You did what you did, and it won. Okay. So now you put this in our lap, and you're trying to tell us give prime property, but then not only that, we're talking about flipping the bill for a lot of things. And
I have two questions.
Go ahead, trustee.
Okay, so we have Cliff Taylor, who is our insurance agent for liability. So are we saying that the parks and Regal Farm is not insured under our liability insurance we have now that we're paying Mr. Taylor? Are those things covered? Yeah.
So you're saying that we're going to get another taxing body that we should pay their bill?
No, I'm saying, are we covering, this document says something about 2 years insurance. Are we not paying him for insurance now for those facilities?
Our own insurance, trustee.
Right.
Our own
But
insurance.
that'd be saying that we would be paying insurance, workers' comp, and everything for all the employees and the board, anybody that works over there.
Right.
The village would be paying for that for 2 years.
What do we, okay, so if we have a park district, If we establish one, we don't want them to be covered?
That's their
That's why they
problem.
got,
Something
that's why they
happened.
receiving 800,000.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing.
Okay, and I was asking that question.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to ask the attorney.
Let me ask, I got
The-
a question.
Go ahead, Gina.
Go ahead, trustee Jenkins.
My question is, now that trustee Gina has brought this up, would that put us in a position where we would not have to pay the $88,000 a month that we're paying for our coverage, Well, if we incorporated all of these parks and Regal Farm, like that, not saying that this is what we're gonna do, but if we incorporated all of these parks and all our parks that they want to transfer over, would it reduce the $88,000 that we're paying monthly? And they would have to assume their own insurance with all of these parks, and then it can reduce our insurance because we're giving them $88,000 a month. So,
We would still have to insure,
let me finish.
Let her finish, please, Donna.
Just asking. This-
Okay. Let's have
I'm
good
asking.
dialogue.
I just want to ask this, okay, so they're already all insured. Under the $88,000 they're insured, that we're paying per month. So if they're all insured, when do we renew the contract next year? Would they be insured up into the contract of next year, or would they come out if we agree to do this and give them the property? You know, that's what I'm trying to get a feel.
So it's a yearly renewal, and I can confirm this with Cliff Taylor. I'm not an insurance broker. However, I believe that we are covered through the rest of the year for the parks.
Okay, also, I have one more question, just one more.
To that, though.
Well, okay, go.
Okay, so, can everybody hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
So we're paying insurance now for
Right.
all of our property.
For nothing.
Okay? So just say, if we ever agree to it, and the park district took over and had to pay their own insurance like every other entity,
Right.
then just say it was reduced by, you could say half, 44,000.
Right.
But what if the land is worth millions?
Right.
What about that?
What-
That's
what we
not a
need
fair
to-
exchange.
But my question,
So,
I have a this is
so
my
listen.
other question.
Hold on.
haven't
I got
appraised
another
the
question,
land
and
yet.
then I'm done. My other question is to Attorney Tillman. If we do not want to give them our property, which we are having some issues with, would we be able, as a board, to lease them the property? We can lease it. We don't have to give it to them. They can pay the village to rent it.
Right.
So he told me, I asked him this question
and I
prior to the
just-
meeting. He said we have the option to lease it. It's just about creating different avenues to ensure that we are
Right.
protecting our entity.
That's
That's
right.
it. And so if we can lease the property to them, and for an agreement, or say we're gonna lease it for 5 years with some stipulations that say that they have to do a X amount of things within those 5 years to prove to us that this working park district is gonna be in good standing and doing what they should be doing in our community before we even deed any property over to them.
Right.
So you gotta prove to us that you're gonna do what you're gonna say you're gonna do, and that means make sure that it's up and running, and take care of the fields, and take care of the buildings, and complete the renovation of Regal Farm, and all of these things. Then we can turn around and deed you whatever little properties that we want to include in the agreement. Also, I am not in agreement with giving them Regal Farm at all without a codicil to the contract, meaning that Regal Farm, if you all, because they can float a bond being a new taxing body and build a building. So if they build a building and Regal Farm is still standing, we would like to make sure that Regal Farm is never sold. It was always be used as a park district or in a park entity, so it won't be any development built on Regal Farm. We have to protect that. That's my main goal, is making sure that Regal Farm is protected here on out for years. Because I know that at one point they tried to sell it.
Right, and it's
So-
a historic landmark.
And it's historic,
So
but we want to
wanna
make sure that we're protecting what is our investment here in this community. So if we can lease that to the park district, lease our parks, and let them do what they say they're gonna do with the parks, whatever their plan is, I don't know what their plan is, and make sure that it's done correctly. But before we do all of that, everything needs to be appraised.
Right.
We don't know the value of anything. We need to see.
So basically, the intergovernment agreement is a contract local government entities in the case of a village or a park district, instead of operating silo, the word is silo, this agreement allows both parties to share resources, which usually leads to better services for the residents without massive tax hikes. The benefits: cost efficient, shared resources, enhanced recreational facilities, grant funding opportunities for the village and the park district, streamlined development. The main thing what we all talking about right now is to protect the taxpayers. So we can get together, as I said at 8:24. Let's talk about it. It is now 8:43. We can go all night. Let us as a board and the residents and the commissioners, whatever the case may be, let us talk about it. Because we don't want no extra burden on the taxpayers, none of us. And this agreement, let's work on it. Let's talk about it. You know, we can have talking points. Operation efficiency, eliminating redundancy, community value, and grant power. These are all things that we could talk about. Land use, liability, programs, public safety, all of these things. Come on, people. Let's close it out. Mayor, lawyer, y'all say y'all thing, please.
Let me ask.
Okay,
let's just talk about it. Go ahead.
I'm taking notes to understand what it is that the village wants. We can reverse the language of it. The way this is worded now is worded in a way where the park district will own the property and the IEGA and sharing agreement will be for the village to use it. We can reverse that so that you all own the property and the park district have reasons to use, ways to use it. At the end of the day, these are two governmental agencies. All the money is coming from the same source. So a lot of times when you do these IGA agreements, the purpose, as you just kind of read, is so that you can kind of share the resource. It's my understanding that the properties are just sitting vacant right now.
They
So
are, and
whatever it is that you all want to do, you just let us know and I can redraft the agreement. We can come back and have more discussion because as I said earlier, today was just, it's a draft, right? It says that right on the front, it's a working agreement. I just wanted you all to have an understanding of what goes into it and what things you can think about. So you let me know.
Mayor, may I be rocking that? Mayor, may I be rocking?
Wait, give me 1 second. I want
A
Trustee
question
Brooks.
for trustee. I know we're talking about intergovernmental agreements. Do we have one with the library? If any one of y'all up here can ask that. I'm just curious.
That would be a no and never.
Okay, hey, Trustee Brooks, let me just ask you a question. When you were in Harvey, how did the park district operate from the city?
Exactly, it was separate. It was separate. But that's like you asking about other towns that it's not separate.
It all depends.
You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, Mayor, again, Parks and Recs. Let me say this. I'm gonna share this.
The referendum has passed.
I'm gonna share this. The referendum passed, but we even had this discussion before the referendum. You can, even if it can't, however you were trying to form this Park and Rec, choose your board. I told you, you choose your board. You could have made them a commission. They could have been paid. Whatever it is, you can handle, you can do things more than one way. And I just don't understand. Sometimes you're not the smartest bear in the room. And that's the purpose of, and when I mean not you, meaning that when one person has an idea, sometimes if you, for instance, on the football field, you may say run a 9 route. I said run an 8. And you say good idea because the safety moved up. Now that's football talk. And my point is that you had an idea. Park and Rec, the money was already there. But now it's a situation where my colleague just said it's like drinking out of a water hose. Fire hose, I'm sorry, drinking out of a fire hose. It's being drowned, this information being drowned at us. So I get what you're saying, but also I'm not willing to give Pine Lake and all these things like the trustee said. I'm not going to give up Regal Farm. I've been there all my life.
So like, in Harvey, it's not.
It's screwed up. If you want to talk about
just the formation of it. But the whole idea of it is that they have like a 99-year lease, a dollar lease for the properties, and their agreements to maintain the properties, the programs, and stuff like that.
So now you're talking a conversation that I don't know, because remember I worked 2 departments. You had Country Club Hills,
and same
you had
them.
Harvey.
Yeah. Country Club Hills and Park and Rec.
But also at the same time, other towns was in those same positions. But understand, Harvey changed their government before too. They were commissioners and now they aldermen. So we're talking about in between times, towns conformed to who they are. Country Club Hills had a 2 alderman form of government at one point.
I remember.
Yeah, then it switched.
They reduced it down.
Yeah, so I mean.
But listen, okay.
Right, but
so listen,
things change.
Let's just work on the language. That's what it's all about. We're talking about like almost going to the grave and lifting someone up. The referendum's passed. The money's allocated. Everything's in line with the state and in the county. You are fighting the will of the people. Let's work together collectively to make this thing work. If we need to have continued workshops with everyone and bring it all on the table, I'm fine with that. Well, listen. Everybody, you guys say that you told me. Donna said that specifically. But listen. But it's not that she tells me. We don't have a conversation. It's like all the time. I want this. I want that. I want this. So let's work on this collectively. That's all I want to say. We'll fail. And it's not just the children who need the services. It's middle-aged people who go to the health clubs and the gym. It's senior citizens who like to have the open walking path. And the bad thing about it is we don't do anything for our people with disabilities. And there's an opportunity for the park district to be connected to the special recreation deck at Tinley Park.
I agree.
Those are the things that we need to do.
I agree, Mayor.
Mayor,
I agree with you. Let me say this. I agree with you. Because at the end of the day, even small talk, just what it was with the thing with the chief, you made a comment, you told me what to do, answer my phone, right? And we're not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna bring up a memory, because when it's over, I'm gonna ask you, remember what you asked me? You didn't do it. And so, yeah, I'm not gonna bring it out to the public. I'm just saying that sometimes, I don't know if the world's just so busy around, you can't remember, but when your trustees say that you know you can get a vote on, because like I said, even with the police chief, you can get a vote on that. Just talk to us.
Thank you for your vote. Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk to us. Because, Mayor, I'm going to tell you, you talk so fast, you can sell this pen. I give it to you. I ain't that good. You can sell this pen.
But listen.
But I'm just saying.
Listen, let me just touch on the experience. This village has been damaged tremendously because as a trustee, and then since we're going to go a little history, I used to present so much legislation. And what happened, because we would have a technical resource center next door, but when you bring these things up, it was all torn down, interior sabotage. So when there's something really valuable that you're doing legally within the right constraints of the law, do the right thing for the people. It might appear that it's not right, but it is the right thing to do. Because first of all, I'm not going to do anything illegal. I've never done that. The attorneys are going to do the things right, even though you want to make your claims, this, that, and another. But at the end of the day, I've been here a long time, man, and this is for the next generation. You know, I don't know if you go to the health club, but senior citizens need activities. People with disabilities need activities. Stop holding the village hostage. Stop holding us hostage. And if you want to have another workshop, let's set a date where we can have a workshop. Do your homework. because there's nothing been illegally done at all. No one's going to jeopardize their law licenses, their integrity, or anything to get something done.
Okay, I propose April 15th as a day for a workshop. Trustees, put your, a Saturday? Saturday is fine.
Because the levy's coming.
April 18th.
The money's not going to get stopped. The money's here.
Let's go, put our documents, put our notes in here that we would like rewritten in here. Everybody bring their great ideas. April 18th. We said, let's talk about it, let's workshop about it. What's gonna work? What's a good day for you,
Let's do it
trustee?
in between the next cow and the board meeting.
Okay, what's a good day, trustee Thompson?
April.
No, not March. I ain't here at the end. Y'all done woke me out. I'm gone. 25th of April?
No, that's too far.
Listen. Yeah.
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 It can be when?
Well, not next week, because I ain't.
And you know, it's so much misinformation out there.
What about the
Say
4th?
one thing. Because we disagree.
I mean,
That's
trustee
okay.
Thompson.
That's
I
healthy.
just want to say this. So just because we disagree does not mean we are, I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my point across, and so I can be heard, because people talk over you, so then I might have to talk a little. I'm not a loud speaker, but I'm just saying, because people think because we are talking
Loud
loud
speaking, that is arguing.
and we disagree, we all have our own individual brain. We can all read and comprehend. And so we bring everything different to the table. So I don't want people to think that I'm not arguing, but I'm just saying what I think, and it
I
has to make
understand.
sense for me. And so it does not have to be so adversarial. If we were we can have a civil conversation.
I'm with that. I'm at the age now, I don't like
So
confrontation.
I don't have to agree with the next person.
Before the next count.
Okay, can we agree on a day,
So-
trustee Brooks?
Let's settle a date,
April
and
4th.
let's make a date
Thompson.
that's good. We got
What
council.
about April 4th?
No, I'm not here.
Oh, you're not here.
I'm not here.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, no.
A weekday.
A week-
A Wednesday, preferably. Or Thursday.
Okay, so are we saying,
What's a good day?
what's a good day? April 9th? April 9th? So we saying April 9th, trustee?
What day is that on?
Oh, the cow is the 14th, right? So 23rd? April 23rd, does that work for everyone?
Scott, when does the municipality start getting allocation from Will County?
It should be, I believe it's later on this year, right? Correct? We get some starting in the end of May, beginning of June. And then we should get another allocation around September,
So that's the,
but not from Will County.
and that would be the same for the Park District as well. All right. All right, can we have an agreed date?
Can we have that agreed date, trustees? That's April 16th, that's a Thursday, and can we come with what we would like, the language would be, and, you know, your thoughts,
And
your
Attorney Wood-
collaboration? The word is collaboration. The word is collaboration. Trustee Brooks, I know
Can we make this, can we get this understanding that, excuse my throat, that it's not gonna be, if it's a meeting and we're gonna try to hurry up and agree to something
No, we gonna.
just to
we-
say, okay, we putting this on the
no.
next board meeting. I don't wanna go through that
No.
phase. I'm not gonna waste my time with that type of meeting.
No, this is for us to collaborate on the language.
What should have been done in the first place with the first
Right.
if I'm not mistaken, was the golf course was on the last agreement, right?
Well,
The golf course was on the last agreement, so we took it, y'all took it off, or they took it off? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not trying to have that type of meeting.
No.
The hurry up, this is what we're going to do,
No,
and then all of a sudden,
No, we want to get this
next
thing.
week we vote for it because
No, we
We want to get it right.
trustee or 3 trustees agree with it. I'm not going to play that game. I'm just being
this is
honest.
collaboration.
But listen,
I'm sorry. Say
the
that
appraisal
again,
really
trustee.
doesn't have anything to do with it. No. Not at
We're
this
giving
stage.
away property.
We're not giving away. So listen, so when you say that we're giving away property, listen, let me just, it makes it appear to the audience that you're giving it to some people and that's their property. These are These are still residents of our community, tax-paying residents of our community, just like
giving it
we
away,
are.
Mayor.
But we're not giving it away. We're going to work.
We're giving it to this park district, and it's ours. That's the same way if you have a, if like this, for instance, is we having this building something on the lake, on Pine Lake.
Okay.
So if they wanted to build something on Pine Lake, that would be property that we gave away. The value of the land would have increased.
It's going to increase with somebody building on it. And
But
don't you
we
know
gave
what
it
kind
away.
don't you know what kind of value park districts do for communities? But let's get our date. Let's close up out of
Okay.
here.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make that point. The value of the land.
We can.
It's important.
Go ahead, Manager Scott. Go ahead. What's the?
So the 16th isn't a good date because we have the Finance Committee meeting and then there's so that's not a good date.
So what about the 15th? What day is that? A Thursday?
That's a Thursday, that's the third Thursday. So I'm just
How about
asking we
Wednesday?
don't do it on that day because we'd have to cancel the Finance meeting and I really don't, I prefer if we
Yeah.
not do that.
Is everyone good with the 15th?
April 15th, tax day.
Yeah.
April 15th, this 90 Town Center is available.
Economic interest statements then.
Yeah. 6 p.m.
The day after the cow.
Yeah. 6 p.m.
And be on time. Okay?
May I have? Is that agreed upon with everyone?
Yeah.
We good with
We
that?
all good?
Okay. So, may I have a motion, please?
So move.
Moved by Brooks.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'll holler at you later, man. I'll holler at you later. I saw that.
26. 6.2. It's crazy.
You did it?
No, not yet. I'm training for it. It's in October.
The meeting has been adjourned.
I do like run clubs all over.
Did you? Okay.
Whoever wants